So I wet my brush, I dried my brush, and I loaded it with green on one side and ink on the other. Tipped it with ink and painted in the veins in the garden using the tip of my brush with vertical brush. I did 3 here. Okay. I'm going to scrub in the leaf lobes. Following the way the the lobes would go. They go, here's where the stem is, and that's the tip of the leaf. So I'm scrubbing my brush towards the tip of the leaf. If I run out of color, or I've noticed that my color doesn't have much variation, I'll clean my brush off and start over again. Wet my brush, dry my brush, clean my brush, load it with green all the way through, tip it on one side with black ink, and start again. I'm going very fast because this is a demo, but you can slow it down. And do a careful job when you're making your masterpiece. Okay. So now I've created the bed of the garden, and here is where I'm going to start placing the bracts. Okay. So I'm dipping my brush back into black ink at the tip, and come in and paint in some vertical lines here to show the stem of the bract. I'm pressing down and pulling. Do another one. And I don't want it to be so stick straight, right? I want it to look graceful. Come down into the center. Pull. You can add a few more here too, because there might be some other groupings. Right? There, I have 5. Okay. Now I'm going to clean my brush off, and then put some purple on my brush. See if I could grab a hold of this stem without getting stabbed. Here, can you see these purple parts of the flower? And then there's white here too. So I'm dipping my brush into purple color. And I'm painting the flower segments known as bear claws. And I'm doing these water drop strokes. So I'm pressing, going back, lifting, press, coming back like a reverse. And I'm leaving spaces in between for the white part of the bract. And as I go up higher, notice that they're getting smaller. Leaving room at the top because the top part is green. There's no purple or no violet. And you could load it with blue and then purple too for some variation in tone. Or some red. And you can get some red violet. Make them a little random. It's prettier that way. If you like, you can add another tone right on top of what you've just painted for a little depth. I've taken blue. Okay. Next, you want to use a good white, and my preferred white is this Bleed Proof White by P.H. Martin. You can use the white that comes in your kit, your Japanese colors also, but I prefer the Bleed Proof White because it's more uniform and opaque. Okay, and I dip it right into the white, and then you can take a little bit of the purple and mix it into a dish together. You can even use light ink as well. But here I'm going to stick with color, okay? So in between these purple parts are heart-shaped petals, and that's what I'm going to do. Paint little heart shapes. And they're just really dots. Press, lift, press, lift. Try to make them different by pressing hard sometimes, pressing soft some other times. Coming into the flower, the bract, the purple bract part sometimes, and sometimes just going outside of it. Maybe slanting your brush a little bit here and there. Make them look like they're dancing. Each one has its own energy, its own personality. Okay. And now that we're done with that part, we can widen our stem. Come back in with a fairly dry brush and mix it into a dark green. Blend your brush. Take out any extra water from the bristles close to the handle and come next to your black stem, lifting your brush in between so you don't ruin the beautiful bracts that you created. And with the same brush load, add a little bit of black and then paint in the tops in a little triangle shape. If you want to add some more leaves at the bottom, this would be a good time to do that. And put a butterfly or a grasshopper, praying mantis, snail. Snails love the acanthus, so add a little snail for some liveliness.